Each of the 7 heavenly virtues has its opposite in the form of the 7 deadly sins. Through the millions of video games, I selected a particular 14 that perfectly illustrates them, starting from The Legend of Zelda, which represents Chastity, and The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, which represents lust. This series tells a story about Link as a goal to rescue Princess Zelda and save the kingdom of Hyrule from the evil villain Ganon. The core gameplay is about exploration, puzzle solving, and action-oriented combat, often featuring dungeons filled with challenging bosses and traps. His dedication to this duty often requires him to resist temptations and distractions along the way, staying focused on his mission and maintaining a sense of purity in his intentions. Link's relationship with Princess Zelda is typically pictured with respect and admiration, rather than romantic or sexual undertones. A relationship is characterized by mutual trust, support, and a shared sense of duty rather than physical desires. As an adventurer and skilled swordsman, Link demonstrates remarkable self-control and discipline in his actions. He faces many challenges and temptations throughout his journey while maintaining his focus and determination, resisting any impulses that may lead him away from achieving his goal. He's a pure-hearted hero whose motivations are driven by a desire to protect others and uphold justice. Finally, his actions are led by a sense of virtue of chastity and moral honesty, with no secondary motives or selfish desires. So now let's look at the opposite, which is lust. The Witcher originally started as a series of books that is set in a fantasy world inspired by Slavic mythology and folklore. The main storyline revolves around Geralt of Rivia, a monster hunter known as a Witcher, with supernatural abilities and experiences rigorous training from a young age. The game pictures the sin of lust through its fascinating story and character relationships. When you play as the Witcher, you experience the themes of desire, passion, and temptation as you follow the adventures of Geralt of Rivia. Throughout the game, Geralt engages in romantic relationships with various characters, including sorceresses like Triss Merigold and Yennefer of Vengerberg, each representing different aspects of desire and temptation.
I just wanted to take you aside, without cluing the others into what we're up to.
And what are we up to?
Sneaking upstairs to make love.
Yen, don't get mad, but...
Stop. Suddenly I have an immense desire to drink.
These relationships often result in emotional complications, jealousy, and ethical dilemmas, showcasing the risks of giving in to lustful desires. The game also features a house where men visit women of low morals, and sexual encounters that highlight the general presence of lust in its world, clarifying the darker sides of human nature. In 2019, Netflix released a live-action adaptation of Witcher, in which elements of lust are preserved, just like in the game. I'll give you a tip. If you live with your parents and you're playing Witcher 3, you better be prepared to fast alt-tab when your mother enters your room. The next pair is Temperance, which represents Journey, and Gluttony, which represents Overcooked. In this game, you control a robed figure traveling through a vast desert landscape towards a distant mountain. The game is designed to be a wordless and minimalist experience, relying on visuals, music, and gameplay to deliver its narrative and emotional depth. The simplicity encourages players to focus on the journey itself, rather than being distracted by excessive gameplay elements. Throughout the game, players must navigate through various environments while maintaining a sense of balance and harmony. This is reflected in the way the character moves through the terrain, sliding gracefully over sand dunes and interacting with the territory in a fluid and controlled manner. In the multiplayer mode, you may come across other travelers along their journey. Communication is limited to nonverbal gestures and musical chimes. In addition, the game encourages players to regulate their emotions and maintain a sense of calm and focus as they navigate through the challenges they encounter. This emotional regulation aligns with the virtue of temperance, emphasizing moderation and self-control. Journey incorporates the virtue of temperance through its minimalist gameplay, emphasis on balance and harmony, restraint in interaction, and promotion of emotional regulation. The game encourages players to approach their journey with a sense of moderation and self-control, fostering a deeper connection with the experience and the world it presents. So now let's look at the opposite, which is Gluttony. In this game, players control chefs in a kitchen scenario, tasked with preparing and cooking many dishes under a time limit. The game's main focus is on cooperative multiplayer gameplay, although it can also be played solo. The idea for the game was inspired by a TV show Hell's Kitchen, where aspiring chefs compete in various culinary challenges to win the title of head chef at a prestigious restaurant or a cash prize. And Overcooked is the same. It puts you in a kitchen environment where you have to prepare and serve more and more dishes to meet the expectations of hungry customers, with orders quickly stacking up and time running out.
Words. I already served it.
No, but it wasn't
no, it
up
doesn't
there
count.
yet.
Served it to who?
Who the soup you serve it needs it? Shrimp now!
The game's fast pace and pressure to keep everyone fed reflects the idea of excessive consumption associated with gluttony. Trying to keep up with the chaos, players may prioritize quantity over quality, leading to waste and inefficiency. The game rewards players for taking on more orders, pushing them to be greedier despite the negative outcomes. Giving into gluttony results in a chaotic kitchen, with burned dishes, wasted ingredients, and angry customers. While I don't think the main goal of the developers was to make a game resolving around the sin of gluttony, the name of the game itself suggests that it's an accurate comparison. However, most people think that gluttony only applies to food, but it also applies to alcohol and cigarettes. So I want to make two honorable mentions that reflect this. For alcohol, it will be Red Dead Redemption 2, and for cigarettes, it will be Mafia. The third pair is Charity, which represents Batman Arkham, and Greed, which represents Grand Theft Auto 5. This series of games talks about the iconic superhero Batman. He's fighting Gotham City's villains, using his detective skills, combat expertise, and gadgets to protect the city from crime and corruption. Batman is extremely rich, and he doesn't hesitate to use that money to help others, such as providing support to orphan children and offering assistance to those in need. Throughout the series, Batman works hard to save innocent people from danger, whether they're caught in the crossfire of supervillain schemes or threatened by the city's criminal elements. Despite facing opponents who have committed evil things, Batman shows charity by offering them opportunities for redemption and rehabilitation, believing in the potential for change and forgiveness. Batman's allies, such as Alfred Pennyworth and Commissioner Gordon, exemplify charity through their relentless support and willingness to assist others, standing by Batman in his mission to protect Gotham City. So now let's look at the opposite, which is greed. GTA 5 highlights the sin of greed by involving players in a huge open world. The storyline features three protagonists, each obsessed with acquiring wealth, power, and luxury. From small thefts to detailed heists, the characters engage in criminal activities to gather fortunes. The virtual city of Los Angeles acts as a breeding ground for greed, obtaining luxurious properties and showcasing their legal gains. The online multiplayer component, GTA Online, escalates the theme as players attempt to accumulate virtual wealth and show dominance over weaker, beginner players. However, the negative consequences of unchecked greed are obvious as characters betray each other in their cold-hearted pursuits of riches, leading to moral decay, disloyalty, and ultimately, self-destruction.
Why? Why? Because you don't want me to testify in court.
Okay! Then put your gun down and we'll talk.
After you, buddy.
Come on, where's the trust?
You can do better than that.
Put the weapons down, boys. Fun time is over. We've got you.
Put your weapons down, all of you!
Who the fuck are you with?
With me!
You fucking rat, I knew you didn't have the balls for this.
Oh, same goddamn leg!
Go! Fuck!
By exploring greed and its consequences, Grand Theft Auto provides a thought-provoking analysis of uncontrolled ambition and the harmful impact of materialism on people. This motive of greed is not only found in GTA 5, but in all previous versions of the game, as well as in upcoming GTA 6. The fourth pair is Diligence, which represents Dark Souls, and Sloth, which represents Animal Crossing. This series of games is known for its hard-to-beat gameplay, complex world design, and deep lore. Set in a dark fantasy universe, the story offers a unique experience, where you must explore unsafe environments, battle horrifying enemies, and discover the mysteries of the world. Diligence as a heavenly virtue is often associated with hard work, perseverance, and conscientious effort towards a goal. Dark Souls is well known for its challenging difficulty curve. You must learn enemy patterns and gameplay mechanics through trial and error.
That all men
No!
would be fire.
What?
As we witness
What the fuck even is that?
creator with
How?
certain
How is that fun?
Diligence is required to keep going through repeated failures, gradually improving skills and eventually mastering the game's mechanics. Moreover, diligence is also reflected in the game's emphasis on exploration. Players are encouraged to carefully explore every corner of the game world to discover hidden items, secrets, and lore. Diligence can also be noticed in the game's attention to detail, both in its detailed level design and its rich lore. The difficulty level often requires multiple attempts to defeat obstacles. Diligence is required to consistently face these challenges, learn from mistakes, and adapt strategies until success is achieved. So now let's look at the opposite, which is Sloth. This game reflects Sloth through its relaxing gameplay. You live in a peaceful village with animal characters, where time moves slowly. There are no meaningful tasks. This lack of pressure allows players to enjoy activities like fishing, bug catching, and decorating their virtual homes without any strict goals. The game's easygoing pace can lead players to prioritize distraction over productivity, as they engage in routine tasks like watering flowers and collecting fruit, strengthening a sense of repetition. While the game celebrates relaxation, it also hints at the the dangers of being too idle and emphasizes the balance between laziness and responsibility. The situation is the same as with Overcooked. I think that the developer's main goal was not to create a game around the sin of sloth, but it's a pretty accurate comparison. The fifth pair is Patience, which represents Farming Simulator, and Wrath, which represents Doom. This series allows you to experience the difficulties and rewards of farming by managing and operating your own farm. The game typically progresses at a slow and steady pace, imitating the patience required in real-life farming. Players must wait for crops to grow, animals to mature, and machinery to operate, teaching them the value of patience in achieving long-term goals. Successful farming in the game requires strategic planning and foresight. You must carefully manage your resources, invest in the right equipment, and plan your actions seasons in advance. This highlights the virtue of patience as players wait for their efforts to be successful over time. Just like in real farming, you may encounter problems such as bad weather, crop diseases, or equipment failures. Overcoming these problems requires patience and flexibility, as you must wait for conditions to improve or take conscious actions to reduce the damage. Farming often involves repetitive tasks and attention to detail. Whether it's plowing fields, sowing seeds, or harvesting crops, you must perform these tasks precisely to ensure success. So now let's look at the opposite, which is Wrath. This is one of the classics of the video game industry, and I think especially all Karens will agree with this comparison. Doom delves deep into the sin of wrath, throwing players into a chaotic world of violence and chaos. As the powerful Doomslayer, you release your anger on waves of demonic enemies in the depths of hell.
Okay. Ow! Holy shit, I blasted him to infinity.
The game's quick combat and high energy action let players release their frustration by taking down enemies with hard-hearted efficiency. However, while Doom takes pleasure in the excitement of battle, it also highlights the destructive consequences of unchecked aggression. Back in the early days of Doom, players were known to get so frustrated with difficult levels or challenging enemies that they would smash their keyboards in frustration. But to be honest, that could be attributed to 90% of games today. The sixth pair is Kindness, which represents Minecraft, and Envy, which represents The Sims 4. It's a game where you place blocks and go on adventures. Minecraft encourages teamwork with other players, whether it's working together to build structures, explore new areas, or defeat monsters. This promotes a sense of kindness as players support each other and share resources to achieve common goals. Many players use Minecraft as a platform to create positive and inclusive communities. They establish rules to promote fairness and respect, enforce anti-bullying measures, and cultivate an environment where everyone feels welcome and valued. Players often perform random acts of kindness, such as leaving gifts for others, building public areas for everyone to enjoy, or offering cheering and compliments to fellow players. These small gestures contribute to a culture of kindness within the game and demonstrate the positive impact the community can have on each other's experiences. So now let's look at the opposite, which is Envy. This is a game where players control virtual people called Sims. Here, players can make their Sims look whatever they want and give them fancy houses and jobs. This can make players feel bad about their own lives and want what others have. The game focuses a lot on social status and competing with neighbors and coworkers. This can lead players to feel jealous and try to copy what others have, even if it's not realistic.
I'm just gonna have Travis here flirt with Summer. He's gonna blow her a kiss right in front of Liberty, and we're gonna see what happens. Okay, and Liberty is reacting. Okay, she just became very sad, drifting love from jealousy.
Although The Sims 4 promotes happiness and reaching goals, it also shows how comparing yourself to others and wanting what they have can be harmful. Through its picture of envy, the game prompts players to reflect on their own desires and aspirations, encouraging them to find fulfillment and satisfaction in their own lives, rather than constantly striving for unattainable ideals. In short, The Sims is a game that reflects our real life. People are usually jealous by nature and only appreciate something when they lose it. The seventh pair is Humility, which represents Undertale, and Pride, which represents the god of war. It's a role-playing video game where you control a child who has fallen into the underground, a world populated by monsters. The game points up your choices and consequences, allowing you to choose whether to befriend or fight the monsters you come across. The story revolves around the themes of friendship, morality, and the consequences of one's actions. Depending on your choice, multiple endings are possible, ranging from peaceful resolution to violent conflict. Throughout the Undertale, you meet many characters with their own backgrounds, motivations, and struggles. The game encourages you to empathize with these characters and consider their perspectives, promoting a sense of humility by acknowledging the complexities of others' experiences.
It was nice to meet you. Goodbye. Oh shit, man. Holy fuck.
It was nice to meet you. Goodbye.
Oh no!
One of the core mechanics of Undertale is the option to sort out conflicts without violence. You can choose to spare your enemies and find peaceful resolutions to conflicts, demonstrating humility by recognizing the value of life and seeking to understand and make peace with your enemies, rather than choosing aggression. The game presents you the opportunities to reflect on your actions and the consequences. Through interactions with characters and discovering their story, you may confront their own biases and past mistakes. This encourages humility by acknowledging one's imperfections and shortcomings, and by striving for personal growth and redemption. So now let's look at the opposite, which is pride. This game shows how being too proud can cause problems. The main character, Kratos, is a warrior who thinks he's better than everyone else. He always wants more power and tries to hurt the gods because he believes he's better than them. This makes him do bad things that end up hurting a lot of people.
And your boy, Allfather, has plans for him.
He never admits when he's wrong or asks for help. His extremely masculine nature evokes the pride that gets in the way and causes a lot of trouble for everyone around him. Through its picture of pride, God of War offers a forewarning about the dangers of uncontrolled arrogance and the destructive impact it can have on both individuals and society. In conclusion, exploring the concept of the 7 sinful versus 7 heavenly video games taught us their timeless relevance in human nature. As gamers, we should pay attention to the lessons learned from our computer screens to maximize our chances to achieve success both in-game and life beyond the screen.